I'm here at the Occupy Wasilla event with Jay Cross, who's one of the people, many people in Joe McGinniss' book, The Rogue, who offered Joe a weapon for self-defense. And he also was willing to have Joe use his name, but something's come up a lot, Jay, and you've probably been watching it, where people are accusing McGinniss of not having veracity because some of the people who live here in Wasilla refuse to divulge their name. What do you have to say about these people's concern about their anonymity?
Well, there's a lot of people that, some of the people that are afraid to have their names used, because there's a certain core percentage of people out here that are totally wacko. You know, they think that they can intimidate and force people to think like they think, or just to keep their mouths shut. You know, New York Times, everybody uses a certain amount of anonymous sources. I don't see that there's any great big problem with that.
Now, both you and I know some of the people who kept their anonymity, and we understand it, but one thing that has surprised me has been the hostility, for instance, of the Anchorage Daily News has not reviewed the book, and it's an important book about Alaska. The Alaska Dispatch only had a really, really caustic, poorly written review as their coverage of the book. None of the Alaska media outlets, with the exception of one fairly right-wing talk show host, Mike Porcaro, have interviewed McGinniss. What would you say about this lack of willingness to tackle what Joe McGinniss has brought up by the Alaska media?
Well, it's mostly a case of, if you remember what the Chinese have a saying about, you know, losing their rice bowl. Well, it's strictly about economics. They want to denigrate Joe or anybody that has anything to say against the system that they support. And they supported Sarah Palin. They support. Look at all the corrupt bastards that were supported by the Anchorage Daily News and the Times. It was totally against the people of Alaska, but they don't seem to care just as long as they make the money.
Yeah. Now, Ray Metcalf has been demonstrating in front of the Anchorage Daily News. I understand you drove by yesterday and saw some of the people there. Why don't you describe the Ray's operation on Friday?
I drove by there, and it was great. They had about 20 people there, and I recognized some of them. I honked and waved in total support. The Anchorage Daily News needs to either start becoming a journalistic newspaper or fold their tent up and go. You know, it's just like when Vico bought the Times. You know, they bought a propaganda arm, and now what is driving the news is they're slowly dying because their journalism is crappy.
They seem to, from time to time, place the blame on their own device on things like bloggers or other external issues, but you feel that it resides within their management?
When they point that finger, there's 3 other fingers pointing back at them.